Every car I build is supposed to be a piece of art. And at the end of the day, as an artist, it is my intention to share this with as many viewers as possible. Nothing brings me more joy than to look at a beautiful vehicle, whether it's a car or a bike or a beautiful boat. I love creating it. I love to see the joy and satisfaction and the passion that is shared by others in this industry. My name is Titus. I am a self-taught car guy. I don't really have an official title. I do have a shop, and I have an opportunity on occasion to build really, really cool cars, sometimes for others, sometimes for myself, sometimes celebrities on past TV shows. Welcome, this is my shop. This is where I design and build cars. That's my service writer there, Panda Bear. This is the office area. That's usually where I'll do my renderings, my planning, my ordering, all that good stuff. You've got Sean's desk here. This is where the media editing takes place. I've had this car for 5 years. I love it. I think it's a classic. It's a beautiful car. It's an Aston Martin DB7. This is a beautiful C6 Z06, not in its greatest shape. Not currently the wheels that I've always had on it. This is a wrap. The car is actually pearl white underneath. It's been pearl white. It's been in a crazy plastic blue theme for a while, but this is a car that's never going to get old. 427 with a 6-speed, you can't go wrong if you have the right tires on it. Speaking of good tires, this thing picks up the front end. It's a 396 stroker on a 68 Camaro. I've had that for a very, very long time, and the goal is to end up with an LS7 6-speed under the hood of that car. Pride and Joy here, 1963 C10. You'll notice the wraparound windshield, which they only made in 62 and 63. It's been owned by the same folks since 1964. I picked it up on their farm in Missouri. It was irreparable when I got it, but it had a lot of sentimental value. It is now a 6-liter LS1. Interior's been redone. It's now soundproof, power windows, cold AC. This is my gym. Those are actual wheel spacers, so you can bolt and unbolt whatever wheel you want to. Beautiful Ferrari bumper. This is soon to be the highlight of the shop. When you walk in, this is supposed to be a whole entertainment center. This is where I do some more ordering. We do some vinyl cutting for some stickers. Everybody knows they add horsepower. And of course, you have to mention, this is actually what matters. This is what actually pays the bills. This is how I'm able to do anything I do, by turning wrenches. I've been doing this for 18 years, not necessarily in this format, but I've had my own shop the last 7. Despite the amount of space that I'm enjoying now and the tool selection that I have access to, it didn't start like this. It was much more basic in my home garage. What I'm going to show you now is a good example of how I would have done things back in the day on a really, really minimal budget. I chose a Jeep Grand Cherokee. They are in great abundance. From 1999 through 2004, they had a specific body style, the same one I'm using. I personally like it. I want to take you guys around the actual Jeep right now to show you really give you a visual of what's actually about to happen. No better way to provide a visual for what we're talking about than to show you a finished product. This Jeep was 100% bone stock, looked very much like this one probably a week ago, and this is what took place. So, transformation cues mentioned previously will all be noticed here, including the new black housing headlights, the HID lights, the 2004 front bumper, the silver lower portion that stands out as a lower valence, the blacked out hood insert, the tint match front windows, the very, very aggressive and bold body cut to clear the same size tire we're going to use, which are 33-inch tires. Notice we have plenty of room for flex and travel in every genuine practical sense. We have the pillars that are blacked out. Sorry, this thing's filthy. Weather outside isn't beautiful. You'll see the all red taillights. And at the end of the day, totally different color, different set of wheels, different tires, but same dimensions, same setup. And this is the final before and after that we're really going for. So enjoy the visual. The rendering process is really a peaceful step of the build. It's the calm before the storm. It's where I get to provide myself a visual of what I'm going for. It also helps me double check any sort of ideas I have that I'm planning to waste a bunch of time and money executing. Instead of making that wasteful, I get to see what the build will look like. You guys will see what the build looks like, and that should be the determining factor whether I'm moving forward or not in most cases. Today is glorious, it's beautiful, I'm excited. I've placed my orders. I've got a dozen different stores to go to pick up the parts I need for the Jeep. It's getting brakes, shocks, wheel bearings, oil pan gaskets, CV joints, all kinds of little goodies to make sure it's mechanically sound when it's all said and done. No better opportunity to take the Aston Martin out than today. The first big step to my little package we're going to do here on this Jeep is involving the fender wells. We're going to cut them all open, get more clearance for the tires. I'm going to use my previous markings that I've done on other builds. I'm going to tape them out exactly where I need this to be cut. And for a change, I get to stay clean today. I'm going to have Daniel do the dirty work. He loves metal shavings. I don't. And he certainly doesn't mind doing it, so we're going to watch him do the body cut. The Jeep is now mechanically sound. It's well planned out. We have massive body cuts thanks to Daniel. We have tons of room for new tires, and we fixed everything that was wrong with it. Now I'm going to gather all of the goodies that are essentially the aftermarket parts that make this build. It's time to install everything we bought, starting with the mechanical parts. We got to do the repairs, and that's what's about to go down. We're going to end up with a lifted vehicle with big wheel wells and everything serviced top to bottom. We're going to kick things off by changing all of the rotors, all of the brake pads all the way around the car. They all have uneven wear and different hot spots, whatnot. We've got brakes, now we've got shocks. We're not going fancy on this lift. We have no need for a big lift since we've cut out all the wheel wells. Instead, we're going to install this 2-inch budget boost. It's basically a spacer that goes around each coil, spaces it up, and lifts the vehicle that 2-inch difference. And combined with our wheel cuts, we'll be able to squeeze at least 33s on this thing. Before I get to spray the cool green, I need to first tape the car 100% inside and out. First base color is going to be gray. It looks great in that particular color, but I'm gonna take this thing all the way and use the green I just got. Paint looks incredible. I'm very, very happy with the results. Before I mess up what I've done, I'm gonna let this sit overnight, get some rest, come back at it tomorrow and attempt to go for reassembly, scraping glass, wheels and tires. Let's do this, we got tires. I don't have a tire machine, but I do have wheels and tires here, and I'm itching to get them on the Jeep. So maybe a YouTube video or two, and then a couple pry bars. With Daniel's help, I think we can mount these things tonight somehow manually. This part, don't try at home. Not try this at home. First one is taking us way longer than I hope the other one should take. Real sweat, real agony, real flip-flops, and really, it is two guys using 4 pry bars. Probably because of this milestone being accomplished, getting these tires and wheels mounted together, it's probably going to mean we're going to work through the night until the morning and make as much progress as we can in anticipation of bolting these wheels on the car tonight. These wheel wells have endured a whole bunch of chopping and cutting and alterations. I have to make sure that if they're going to be a highlight of the vehicle, you can take a glance at it when it's done over those nice new nubby tires and see a really perfect finish. I'm going to start with some black paint to get in all the cracks and all the crevices from every angle and be consistent in that finish, and then I'm going to cover it all up with a bed liner coat. While I had the mirrors and the handles and the wipers off the car, I went ahead and refurbished them all to their original semi-gloss black. I used plastic dye so that it's actually absorbed into the mirrors. It's not going to chip off handles and all these parts over time. This is by far the most peaceful and rewarding part of my build. I get to just scrape all the plastic dip off the glass. I like to use new razor blades. So license plate bulbs getting replaced with LED ones gives that cool newer car vibe than this car really is from the outside. Interior lighting will just improve altogether, but it'll be much cooler vibe, much newer, which is what I'm going for by replacing all of the map lights and dome lights and floor lights to modern looking LED bulbs that essentially are going to give a much more consistent light, none of that yellowish vibe that nobody likes. Headlights are going to end up being HIDs. Bumpers were painted off the car. That way I had excellent coverage and I got in all the nooks and crannies, and I had to honestly tape a whole lot less of the car. Now it's time to put them on, and this obviously, between bumpers and headlights going on, it just ties the whole vehicle together. It looks like it's done, even though deep inside I know I've probably got 2 more days of finishing touches to go. Finishing touches, final day. Jeep looks sick, but it still needs a final touch, and that is window tint. I've got Dave from 5 Star Design coming out to do that for me.
Hey, my name's Dave Evely with 5 Star Design Window Tinting and Graphics. We do window tinting, appearance packages, you name it. Anything to make your car pretty or a little bit more sleek, a little bit more badass, that's what we do. We're gonna actually match the windows to the rear. We're gonna put a 15% neutral flavor film. It matches the rears really, really well. So from the outside, it has a really clean one window appearance.
Jeep's done. I worked very, very hard. I had lots of help. Now it's time to celebrate and go put some miles on it. Got to shake it down and make sure it's as solid as it looks pretty.